Production, who is sponsoring today's show.
Right.
You know, he always is there to give me kind words of encouragement. Him as well as Keith, who's another friend of the show, to keep me motivated and keep me going. And I appreciate it. Don't you start.
Here we go.
Don't
Talk
you
about Keith when he's here. No disrespect to Keith. Just saying.
Whatever. So you are here, like I said, sponsoring today's show because you got a great project coming out, a Tubi movie. You are a friend of the show. You've been here like 4 times. This your 4th time?
This is my first time here.
What? Don't confuse the people. You're a great friend of the show. This is like your 4th time coming here, right?
I think so. I helped you host one episode.
You did, and you came with Lawrence one time.
Yep.
And you came alone. So yes, this is the 4th time you've been here. You are like a veteran here at Edge on America. So for the people who don't know you, give them a little bit background of who Will Adams is, if you and the surprise guest that you brought here.
The surprise guest I brought here was Randall Michael, and I'm Will Adams.
Will Adams, tell us about who you are. You're a filmmaker that I alluded to previously in the introduction.
You told people I'm a filmmaker. Yay.
I did. Go ahead, tell the people who are listening a little bit about the films that you've made and like everything about Will Adams in like 10 minutes or less.
I don't know if I can do that.
Because we know you can go on and on.
I'm not gonna do it in 10 minutes, but
give me the short synopsis version of who you are and what you embody as a filmmaker.
Well, I'm gonna just tell you, I am a filmmaker. The reason why I say I am a filmmaker, I'm an indie filmmaker, and I carry the word indie heavy because a lot of people say they're an indie filmmaker and they write. Now I'm an independent filmmaker, or they shoot. I'm an independent filmmaker, or they direct. I'm an independent filmmaker. I do everything. So even if I have to get in front of the camera, here I am. You know, as an independent plight of the independent filmmaker. Got it? Yeah. So, but you know, I am the person that's behind and the driving force behind Low Key Productions.
And this guy to your right, and I don't mean that, I'm bad with direction.
Right.
We've already discussed this previously outside of the air. So the gentleman to your left, because I don't want to keep calling you guys surprise guest. What's your name again?
My name is Randall Michael.
Randall Michael, and previously when we were off the air, you were telling me that you're originally from Dallas.
I am.
And you migrated here to the great city of Chicago.
Yes, ma'am.
What made you come here?
My mother made me.
Really?
Yeah, she went home. I got kicked out of California in about 1999. She came home from a Mary Kay meeting and she said, "You're not gonna stay here." I think I hung out one night way too late, and she was like, "Yeah, you're not gonna stay here. You're not gonna spend the summer and the fall here." So she went to a Mary Kay meeting and she said, "I heard about this school in Chicago called Columbia. You're gonna go there." We got on a plane with 3 bags of clothes and stayed in the hotel and went on the tour for Columbia. We stopped at the dorms and the lady said, "Let's just check in." And the lady was like, "You realize that people have had, people have had their rooms reserved for months in advance." She says, "I know." And all of a sudden the phone rang and she took the phone. She looked at my mother like she was crazy. My mother didn't say anything. She kind of just crossed her arms. And she said, "Does he smoke?" My mother said, "I'll smoke if it'll get him a room." She said, "We just had somebody cancel." And the rest was kind of history like that. And I had a room.
That's interesting because a lot of people, one of the things that I really strongly promote here on Intellectual Radio is the best of Chicago. Of course, we got a bad rep in the news, and justifiably so. However, it's kind of, I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, I just decided to come to Chicago," even though it is a premier city.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being here? How long have you been here?
I've been here 24 years.
24?
Yeah, I came here in 1999 or 2000.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
I thought you were 16.
That's funny. No, ma'am. No,
this is not a dating show. Just saying.
No, I'm 44 years old. I've been here since, like I said, 2000. That's the fall of 2000 when we came. And one thing I always felt about Chicago is that I respect you guys, the city, so much. Like, the hustle is unmatched. The grind is unmatched. I mean, I love the people. At the same time, the reason why I don't like it is because of the people. So it's really weird. It's really, really weird. But like I said, it's something about the Midwest. Like, you guys have that hustle of New York, that fast pace of New York, but also you kind of have a very laid back style about yourselves as well, like you would get on the West Coast. So it's real interesting. And then you find the people that have that Southern hospitality, like myself, that are here. So it's a good mesh of everything.
But you couldn't even tell me from the South because listen to his diction. It's like. He's from Harvard or
I
something,
knew
not
he,
Columbia.
I knew
Not
that he
from
was
Harvard? Did you say
Harvard.
Oh, okay. Be clear.
Okay, Yale. All right.
not
Stanford.
Harvard. Even though I love Harvard, y'all are wonderful people.
well, 24 years is a long time.
Oh yeah.
But you haven't been here long enough to like make decisions about what side is bad.
Oh no, yes I have. Yes, I clearly have. And
So what's this is totally off cuff.
sure,
But what side do you prefer the most?
I'm a Southern, so I'm always for most likely prefer the South side.
Yeah, because we don't promote the West Side here.
Well, no, I mean, hey,
No.
The West Side is cool. The West Side has
No.
some
She's from
spaces.
the West Side.
It's
We
fine.
don't promote the West Side.
But
No.
there's nooks and crannies. One thing I'll tell you this, and I'll leave it at this.
She's the nook.
The microcosm of Chicago is you can make one left turn and be in Mayberry, and you make another left turn and you be in hell. So it's like, you never
Chicago
know.
has a lot of enclaves.
Yes.
You have a lot of different
Using these big words.
I was wondering what she meant too, but I was like, it's a car. It's a Buick, right?
We have a lot of distinct, unique neighborhoods,
Yeah.
which is, one of the greater things that I love about
Yeah,
being in Chicago. Because, like you said, one corner you could be in Mayberry, the next one corner you could be in here,
It's
the
very
next
true.
corner you can be uptown
Yeah.
and you meet somebody famous.
Mm-hmm.
So, it does run the gamut of being a great city. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you like it.
Glad to be here.
See, I'm glad he was on the show.
But we don't like surprises.
But
You didn't tell her I was coming.
did you like the surprise?
I'm
That's
just,
funny.
I'm-
No, I understand.
I got a little chops too. I got a few of them.
All right.
So Will, he came, he gave me a press kit. I'm like, I'm a real radio show. Yeah, Glow, he gave
none
me.
of the questions on the press.
Not yet.
We're
Still time.
getting
Still
there.
time.
Tell me about the press.
We're getting there. I saw this in my messages like a press kit. Okay, so you getting it. Big time. So how long have you been a filmmaker? Segue into the questions.
About 22 years.
What initially made you get into filmmaking? I know I've asked this on previous shows,
Well,
but just to, refresh the guests who may not remember.
Well, my first thing that I used to do, because I went to Columbia too, I was a cameraman. I was like, I learned everything about production. So when I was shooting, I would shoot, and I'm like, I don't have to edit. I just give you your footage and be done. That was cool for me. And then I started working on other people's stuff, and I'm like, they shouldn't have done that. And I just make some suggestions, and they was like, oh no, we were still gonna do it this way, and it still would be bad. And I was like, I can actually do something better than this. I can actually probably do this myself. So then I just decided to do it myself. My first film was horrible. And the reason why it was horrible is because I let the actors direct themselves. And that's the one thing I learned, that you have to direct the actors. You can't, because Rando is just...
Here we go.
He's improv?
No, I stick to the script.
Now he does. But you just, but sometimes not even just them improvising, but them just not, they stick to the script, but they don't have the same cadence as you want them to have. They don't move the way you want them to have.
The vision.
One actor, he would say his line like, we think, hey, you gonna give me my money? And I was like, no, that's you. But he was a theater actor. So I also had to make the adjustment, because I'm like, okay, you in theater, look, that's a microphone. You can hear you whisper. So this is time you get to be quiet and menacing. So I was able to, get that to happen, and I forgot the question.
I'm sure you did. How did you get into acting? What prompted you to be an actor?
Well, the short answer is I think I was about 6 years old, about 5 or 6 years old. My dad who worked in all gambits of the theater at the South Dallas Cultural Center in Dallas, Texas. Shout out. We used to pass by there. He was there so much, we passed by there and be like, that's where my daddy lived. But he was rehearsing a one-man play called Cesui Bonzi is Dead, 1 or 2 man show. And long story short, he was rehearsing Time is Time. And I remember him going over his lines over and over again. I was like, that's not right. And he's like, already frustrated, probably late for, dress rehearsal or whatever. And he's like about to snap. And he's like, I'm like, it's okay, Dad, but that's not right. And sure enough, he went back and told me sometime later, he was like, yeah, that. And after that, he put me in, saw I had a knack for memorization and could read okay. So punctuate, people understand how important punctuation is when it comes to acting.
You have,
What?
Oh, you remember the question?
No.
That's funny.
No, I remember the question, but yeah, a great act of memorization, because, he's doing a master class.
Yeah. let's not. We'll get to that later. He makes fun of me because there were times in the past where we would do shoots, and I wouldn't learn my lines until I got to the set. I wouldn't learn my lines until I got to the set. But a lot of it early on helped me with some improv things. It helped me with being fresh in it, but at the same time, it put a stress on my scene partners and players and directors, right? And so I kind of tried to work against that to stop that from happening. But that's how I got an act.
This is not your movie. This is my show. So
That's
we're gonna let me do the ad libs.
No, I had to make sure because he said scene partners, but I said director.
Yeah, you gotta watch him.
Do you find that memorization helped you become a better method actor as opposed to reading your scripts? And, because sometimes, even though I'm not acting, I find that coming into the studio without my notes, I'm fresher. I'm more off beat. I'm more on beat. I'm a lot more fluid as opposed to writing my notes down and memorizing them. I'm not as, fluid with it.
I understand that. Me personally, that is actually the way. I wouldn't say that I'm a method actor per se, as I don't take it home with me as much. Now I will do my research. I will, empathize as much as possible, try to get into the character's skin, flesh the character out as much as possible. But I try not to take it home with me, because some roles, if you take them home with you, you end up with the Heath Ledgers of the world, or, things like that. And it's not exactly the best thing for you to do. But I definitely always take the time to flesh out my characters and make sure that I'm giving the best performance that I can give. And I write my stuff down. That's how I memorize it. I write it as I've gotten older. It's helped me because there's always things you can revert back to. And I always use pencil. You can revert back to and say, well, this is how I'd like to say this. This is an idea, but you never know what your scene partner is going to give you. So you don't want to come in with something that's so concrete that you can't live in that moment. You know what I mean? It has to be a living, breathing thing every single night. That's why I love theater. So
are you more of a theater actor?
There's nothing like that living, breathing moment on the stage. There's nothing like it. I disagree. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. There you have moments in film that you can say, stop, cut, let's do it again. But you can't do that in a live theater. You can't do that.
But when you do it on screen, if you let me know it's going to happen before it happens.
But that's the thing. You don't know.
But you have to know.
How do you know what's going to come out? Your scene partner will give you something and say it a different way, and it may not be, like you said, what you envisioned, but at the same time, it'll be a whole living, breathing thing.
But the whole time, you have to let the script do its job.
This is very true.
You have to let the script do its job, because when you read the script, it's like, oh, okay, that's funny. But you have to see how you can make that particular thing in that script pop the way you made that thing in your head pop before you say it.
100%. I agree with that. And my thing is, when it comes to inner monologue, I always say the words on the page are there as a strong guide, but that space between those words, that allows you to have your inner monologue, your intentions, what you're trying to convey, the reason why you were there. The guy with the script, he does his part, and then that's our part to make it live off the page.
Sometimes you have to stay on the script. So
you have to. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not saying ad-libbing. I'm not talking about the ad-libbing part of it. Right. I'm saying use with those parameters.
Cut. No. we get too deep into it.
I like to do it. It was good. It's good conversation. It's good conversation.
We get a chance to know each other. That's what I said.
I see. I just met him 2 years ago, and I don't know that much. Right. How did you get these big names to go ahead and premiere in this movie with you?
Well, I had a lot on Randall. I had a lot on him, blackmail him.
Oh, really?
And I ran into Damon, and Damon was like, "Hey, if it's not following the day I'm working, I got you." Adele came through.
Love, yeah.
Adele came through. And which was cool because she had a death in the family, and I was like, man, the day of that shoot, I was like, that shoot is just done. And she showed up. I was a little shocked about that. And then Marcus Shark introduced me to B Cole. So, it wasn't anything. Well, I think I told you how I met Damon, right?
No, you have not.
Damon,
and if you haven't, refresh my
Well, Damon was working he was doing a show at the Amphitheater. So he was on stage and he was like, y'all don't believe me, I'm gonna be outside selling my DVD outside in the lobby. So intermission came. I'm the type of dude who's like, all right, well, let's see if this is mine. Yeah. And he was out there, sure enough, selling his DVD. And then we connected. He said, look for me on Facebook. And then I think Sex Ain't Love I was doing Sex Ain't Love. I had raised some money for Sex Ain't Love. So I told him that I sent him a message saying, do you know any upcoming comedians that can be in my movie? Sex Ain't Love. He said, I don't know none, but I can be in a movie. I'm like, really? Okay. And that was it. Adele, I met her at Columbia during Robert Townsend's, when Robert Townsend was in town. And the way I got her is Robert Townsend was on stage. I had my hand up for like 45 minutes. He finally called on me. And then once he called on me, I said, I don't want nothing from you. It's a lot of talent in the audience. I raised a little money for this movie. Hey, can y'all, can y'all, help me out with my movie?
It's a bold move.
So
I like
Robert Townsend looked at me for like 10 seconds and then said, y'all should be trying to work with him because he's going to do something. Y'all trying to get with me. I'm not doing that. He's going to do something. And that's when Adele gave me a number. So
I don't think Robert Townsend gets enough credit for doing what he does, especially being from Chicago. Yeah, he has written some of the greatest comedy sketches ever. He is the force behind Ken Wayans, and he's the force behind modern comedy. Yep. And a lot of people don't even know that or understand that. He is doing this biopic of Miss Cleo and got the Lady of Rage in it. That's going to be his next project. I think we should all rally behind it. He's a great Chicago promoter. He does not get enough, Well, doing that thing that when he was here at Columbia, somebody was complaining that he don't do anything for people in Chicago. I'm like, well, you can't really say that about somebody because that means if somebody get a job at United Airlines and then they fly and they working out of Texas, hey, you ain't give me no flight, so you can't. You move where your money works. Yeah, that's where exactly. That's how you eat. You can't take everybody with you wherever you go, but you can look out for people if you can look out for them because if I'm eating and I'm able to feed you, that's cool. But if I'm starving, now we're starving together. I think that sometimes in Chicago we get the notion that we're supposed to bring people with us, and in essence, if you can, you should. But eating doesn't necessarily mean that I have to feed you. Sometimes I can show you how to harvest. I can show you how to fish. I can show you the type of people that connect with that can give you heirloom tomatoes. It's not always necessarily about what I'm giving you tangible, but what the intangible things are. Point being, us three here. He's giving me tools to help me feed.
Well, see, This is the thing. A lot of people, and I've been one of these people, when the opportunity presents itself, you're not ready.
So true.
And before I started doing this whole media campaign for the movie, I wanted to do some media for the movie, but the movie wasn't done. So now the movie's done. Now I'm just a big push to get I'm sounding the alarm for the movie, saying, hey, this movie is done. Hey, make sure you be in theaters on November. Hey, it's done. Hey, this is what we're doing. Hey, and it's all about Tubi right now.
So great segue because that was my next question. Tell us about Tubi movie, which the trailer is funny to me, and I like comedy.
Did you see the scene?
I did, but the trailer is funny. Let's focus on what we're focusing on. The trailer was funny.
Everybody on your timeline seen the trailer already.
Have they? If you have not, make sure you go to Asia or America.
Yeah,
they might not see it on my page on Asia or America.
It's about 5,000 people. I only have 5,000 friends. Seriously, if I don't have 5,000 friends, and I was shocked to see 5,000 people that saw the movie.
Oh, that's funny.
And this trailer, I was like, wow, I don't have 5,000 friends. I'm not tapped out.
It's okay.
You can actually friend me right now. I'm not tapped out on friends.
Well, tell us about Tubi movie.
Well, it's a movie about the gaffes of different movies that premiere on Tubi that are bad. But instead of the viewer being the people who call it out, the actors break character and say, oh, hey, why are you doing this? So the point of doing that is to get the audience to laugh with us instead of at us.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge.
So what made you film this type of movie?
It's a market out there for it. That nobody's talking about it. Nobody's touching on it. But there's the market because people are posting about it online.
Not to mention, if you've ever watched a movie with this guy or seen anything that is a subpar product, he has a way about him that he will let you know and call it out with no type of
tact
at all.
I work with him.
So you know what I'm saying.
He does it in real time.
Oh, boy.
Forget a movie. He does it in real time at work.
Yeah, but so you understand. So you understand. But it's insightful. It's insightful. It's it's knowledgeable, and sometimes it's hella funny. And which is how we incorporated. I'm assuming that's how he worked and incorporated all these things we've seen in other movies, and just made a really, like I said, he didn't like me calling it hip, but it is. It's hip. It's timely. It's bad on purpose. I think it's hip, man.
Why don't
It
you
is
like
bad.
the connotation of it being hip?
This is not hip.
That's an indie word.
Yeah.
You're an indie filmmaker.
Yeah.
It's hip.
It goes hand in hand.
But it's put together so the audience can laugh with us instead of at us. And when they see it, I want them in the theaters, and because the social media like Facebook, I think Facebook is it IG and TikTok have put these things together where you have a person sitting there watching a video with you.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't feel like you're watching it with yourself. So this person, oh, that's so crazy. So we can be all in the audience together at a theater doing the same thing.
I like it.
Because one thing that everybody does right now is they watch TV with their phone in their hand. Nobody does not watch TV with either scrolling through something.
It's weird, right? Yeah.
Everybody watches. But when you go to a theater, you might see somebody in the first 5 minutes of the movie with their phone up, but not for the rest of the movie.
So how do you attract a person like myself who does not watch TV and who does not go to the movies? How do you attract them to come to the
You don't go to the movies?
You saw the trailer.
I think that was...
What did you think about the trailer?
The trailer was funny.
Did it make you want to go see it?
Truthfully?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And not because it's bad.
No. I want to know how can I make you go see it so I can make a trailer just
But she doesn't
specifically
go to the
for you.
movies.
I don't go to the movies.
I know, but you're going to go to the movies and see this.
Yeah, you're gonna invite me to the Red Star Carpet event. So
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm shaking you down. You're gonna invite me to the Red Star Carpet event so I can dress nice, get my makeup done, have my microphone, and interview
every theater. This is not
the Chicago premiere.
the
Chicago premiere.
It's a theater on the west side.
No,
Oh, here we go.
No, we're going lofty. We're at the Chicago theater on State Street with my microphone.
Chicago theater?
With my microphone.
Chicago theater?
What's wrong with that?
It's possible.
I didn't know it was gonna be I thought it was just gonna be in regular theaters.
I
Like
thought
AMC Marcus and
I thought the premiere was gonna be there. That's what I thought.
I didn't
get that memo. I mean, it's possible though. I mean, it's possible.
I guess I didn't know that was gonna be in Chicago theater either.
Woo!
That's an expensive little ass.
Hey.
I mean,
Let's go big.
well, not at all. You know, I thought that's what was going on. We got surprises.
And I'm very surprised right now.
What is your character, and what do you bring to the project?
Well, as always, we always decide what's going to happen. He gives me an opportunity to play a wide range of characters, which I love. I'll keep it short and sweet on this one. I am one of the people who has the opportunity to break the fourth wall, as we call it, speak directly to the audience.
What does that mean? And poor, we don't be behind the camera.
So anytime the stage, if you think of the stage or camera, there's 3 walls, and the camera is usually representing the fourth wall. And so anytime we talk to the camera or to the audience, you are sitting behind the proverbial fourth wall. That's how that works.
Okay.
So my character, my name of my character is not important, but the character that I play is a partner, a drug dealer with one of the guys, and we have some fun. I won't give too much away, but at the same time, the stuff that we go through and the stuff that we do is it's interesting. It's interesting.
So he alluded to something about a master class previously.
That's not funny. We shouldn't talk about that at all. We shouldn't talk about that at all.
What is that about?
Okay, so
you're talking very astute and very actorish. I want to know what this master class is about.
He don't sound like he's from Texas.
He does not. He sounds like he's
well,
from...
y'all.
He didn't say
allow me to elaborate right here on what I like to say. No, but he's alluding to the fact that early on in our illustrious career together, I would come to set without my lines memorized. I would look it over a couple of times before. Like I said, some of that would be great because there would be a lot of things but a lot of it was me trying to fill in the spaces. And so there would be things that were said, which was horrible for continuity purposes. But he's a master when it comes to the shooting and the editing, so that helped out a lot.
Oh, it didn't.
I didn't. I tell myself that so I could sleep at night. That's what I say. It was fine. It was fine. But basically, I would come and I would learn my lines on the fly, and I would fill in places to the point where there were a couple times I was watching it where I had my lines in paper. I got real creative. I had it in magazines where I would use it as a prop, but really it would be my lines.
Oh, so you
Episode 7 played it.
Please stop. You don't have to tell me
so
exactly.
you are a co-creator of the Tubi movie. You originated.
No.
The bad stuff.
Right.
No, but he's not bad. So the thing is, he's not bad.
In essence,
But no. Seriously, he's not bad. The problem is when he's there with a scene partner, it's like double dutch. They're waiting to jump in. It's like, okay, I'm waiting for my line.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't say that.
Right.
Hey, cut. Where am I supposed to? So that's how it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here on Edge on America, because you are new here, I talk about a lot of socio-political things that affect us as Black Americans in Chicago, primarily Chicago, but across the world. So just piggyback, but it still coincides with the topic. How do we get young Black males educated or interested in the arts? The way that you speak, I can tell that you're very passionate about this, and the arts are long gone out of school. Music.
That's the problem. There are no programs.
There's no programs like that.
Without any programs, they look to their friends. You always have everybody else is a follower. You got one person is driving the herd, so they all following them. They all carrying whatever they carrying with them. They all doing whatever they doing because of that one person. You take him down, they just like ants. They don't know where to go.
When you take the head, the
right.
will follow.
But if you put something else in front of them, you will see that they're not what you think they were.
Exactly.
They are actually something much better. They just got that one influence that's the alpha.
So how do we? And I understand that completely, because it takes real courage to be a leader. People think that being a leader is like, real selfless, but it's really a hard job, to step outside of the herd and say, no, I want to do something different. How do we get young Black males to be interested in the arts?
Let them know it's okay. Let them know it's okay. I'm a firm believer, and this is something that I was working on with people, like the after school programs are so important, because you can do a lot in after school programs that you can't do in schools. And you can do, but it's the same thing. It's the same kids. They're there for a certain amount of time. They come almost every day because they're after school every day. If you allow them, everybody doesn't want to be a Tom Brady or LeBron James. Some people want to be a basketball. You know what I mean? Some people want to be the type of person that goes and paints. They just need a creative outlet and someone telling them that it's okay. It's not weird or it's not strange. Exactly. It's okay to go to address your feelings.
It's okay to dance.
It's okay to dance. Well, maybe not for you.
Yeah, no.
Maybe not for you. But it's okay. It's okay to sing. It's okay to have that creative outlet and let people know that it's safe. It's safe for you. And you'd be surprised how many all they need. I was doing real quick. I was doing the improv workshop one time, and the lady told me about how her son. She was like, she looked at me. She said, it's gonna be tough. We got a couple kids in here that are really excited, but there's a couple that don't want to be involved. And at the same time, all I did was give them an outlet, let them know. We started off something real that everybody could, maybe it was a dance step, or maybe it was something like a job interview. If you're trying to go to a sportscaster, something that they felt comfortable with, and gave them an outlet to be free in. Before they didn't even want the class to end. And the same people they were saying that weren't going to interact and weren't going to do well were the ones that didn't want it to end. And you just have to give people that creative outlet to feel safe to be creative.
And you got to pull those alphas away, because I remember when I was younger, this guy he lied to me and told me he was the rapper Tech Nine. I never heard of Tech Nine. For real, I had never heard of him. And then he was like, "This is my song." I was like, "Who was that?" He's like, "That's me." And then he started rapping with it. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So then I started writing, and he's like, "Oh no, you can't write because he told me that, because I'm like, because he got this song that I heard that I thought was him, but see, it also starts at home, because positive influences at home also, and the teachers are there, but the teachers can only do so much. But the positive influences at home can push the kids to go from 0 to 1,000 in seconds. When you tell your kids you can do anything, they believe in what you say.
Yeah.
And once they believe in what you say, they will do anything. It's with the wrong things and stuff. But
you can do that too, son.
But
my mother always told me, do anything that you want to, make sure you're the best at it. So if you are going to be a bank robber, be the best.
Well, and John Wick said, do it. What does that say? He said, do everything.
John Wick. Keanu Reeves.
No, it's not. It's not.
John Wick is not.
I'm talking about the saying that was saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Okay.
That's a dope.
I like that.
The movie's riddled with dope dialogues and monologues. But
I've never seen one of those.
Keanu Reeves got, hey, are you back? I'm thinking I am. That's his only lines. Or are you armed? Yeah. But everybody else.
So do you get inspiration from watching other people film?
No. Not at
I
all.
can tell you just was very impassioned about that.
No, because I hear the lines, but no, I don't really get inspired because I think it's plagiarism. If you do something and I copy you, then I'm not. It's not mine.
Inspiration doesn't necessarily mean that I have to do what you're doing.
But
I can be inspired by you. I'm inspired by you, and I don't do film.
I can say I'm inspired by